tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
After a pretty spectacular day across the state, temperatures are still hanging out in the 60s across much of Iowa. We'll talk about if that's going to continue coming up.
Plus, Jared is in the studio for the National Forecast. All that and much more as this Tuesday, March 8th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
It's Monday night on ISU TV, broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa.
What is today?
This is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television program brings you the weather from around the country to the heart of Iowa. The ISU Meteorology Department team of forecasters keep you ahead of the storm. From Iowa's most trusted weather team, this is Size Eyes on the Skies.
And welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm joined now by Zane Satre. How's it going, Zane?
Not too bad, Kyle. You don't sound so great yourself, though.
Yeah, allergies are getting to me, but at least it's warming up.
I was going to say, it's beautiful weather. You shouldn't be sick right now. That's kind of too bad. I mean, look at, okay, here's our current temperatures outside right now. 68 in Des Moines, 60 in Ames. Now there's a boundary across the western part of the state that's going to swing off to the east and cool our temperatures off coming up. But coming up in the Iowa forecast, we'll talk about some rain chances and some continued warm weather. Stay tuned for that.
And now time for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1995, a late bitter cold snap brought sub-zero temperatures to virtually all of Iowa, with the lowest reading of negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit occurring at Sibley, making this the latest in the spring that a temperature has been recorded anywhere in the state since 1956. The very cold temperatures combined with high winds produced wind chills almost as low as negative 41 degrees in Mason City. Now we turn to Jaret with the national forecast. Anything interesting going on?
Oh, well, definitely. We've got spring all across the entire country, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that after the break.
Oh. And welcome back, everyone. Jared, what's going on around the nation?
Plenty. We've got meteorology spring actually happened about a week ago. We are a week into spring, and it certainly feels like it across the country. Let's take a trip around the country right now. We're at 50 degrees in New York. 37 in Augusta is about one of the only winter holdouts out there. 53 in Syracuse, a little bit cloudy there. As we move into the southeast, we've got 66 degrees in Atlanta, 69 in Orlando, 71 in New Orleans, a little bit warmer, 52 in Albuquerque as we move to the west, 55 in San Francisco and cloudy, still even a little bit chilly comparatively to normal, 71 in Phoenix, 49 in Seattle, a little bit cooler in the northwest, 50 in Boise. But when you head to the Midwest, you got 66 Des Moines, much warmer than expected this time of year, 68 in St. Louis, a little cooler in Nebraska and North Platte at 44 degrees. Looking at the rain across the country, we've got plenty of it in Arkansas, Missouri, moving into southern Iowa. Maybe Zane will touch on that as we move forward. But we've got a lot of it going on across the deep south. There were a few tornado warnings across Texas earlier in the day as well. Looking a little bit closer at this rain, it's starting to push off across Arkansas and into the Memphis area. And they've got some flash flood warnings in that area because there's been so much rain. So there's not going to be needing a whole lot of rain coming up. Moving through into the rest of the week, we'll see this rain just kind of sticking around in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas region, and doesn't really go a whole lot of anywhere. And kind of have the same scenario over in California as well, which they need the rain. They've been so dry for so long. They've been getting plenty of rain over the last week, and they're almost getting too much. They're also having some flooding issues over there. Tomorrow, 52 in Chicago, 66 St. Louis, 62 in Denver, 83 in Phoenix. So plenty of warm air across the entire country. Minneapolis is the coolest spot on the map right now, 51 degrees. Our pick city is Redding, California, and they've got plenty of rain across the entire week, 90% chance tomorrow. And it's hanging out in the 60-degree region. Finally clear out once we reach Tuesday, getting some partly cloudy skies to dry out a little bit.
All right, thanks, Jared. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What is the temperature of the sun? Is it 6060 K, 5730 K, 5985 K, or does it vary? Well, we'll have a look at that answer here in a moment. But Zane, what's the weekend looking like for us here?
Well, Kyle, it's pretty nice outside right now. You can see highs across the state today. 72 up in Mason City, 73 in Des Moines, 74 in Ottumwa. So that's a pretty darn warm for the beginning of March. Now, as we head into the next couple days, tonight we have a couple chances of thunderstorms, depending where you're at in the state, better chances there. And then we remain above average as we head in the next couple days. Some brief chances for rain coming up, and then we're going to stick around with those warm temperatures into next week. We'll have more details coming up. And welcome back to Size Eyes on the Skies. Right now here in Ames, we're still holding on to 60 degrees out there. Cloudy skies and the winds just starting to switch around from the west at 7 miles an hour. So across the state today, current temperatures right now are 50 up in Mason City, 60 in Ames, 66 in Des Moines. You can see off to the northwest, there's that boundary that's going to push across the state throughout tonight and going to cool us down to a little bit more reasonable temperatures for this time of year. Now, if we check out the wind map here, you can see that boundary off to the northwest with those winds from the west-northwest, and then out here on the eastern part of the state, still hanging on to those that southerly flow, which brought us all of that warm air today, pushing us up into the 70-degree range. Clouds and radar right now are showing us that bank of clouds across the state. Now, just to the south, down in Missouri, you can see there's some precipitation riding up along a little wave of warm, moist energy from the south, and that's going to cause maybe some chances for precipitation as we head into tonight and beyond. So here's Futurecast starting us off tonight at 7 p.m. You can see that low pressure system to the south of us, bringing that warm, moist energy up, and you see that precipitation moves across part of Iowa tonight, mainly overnight chances of rain for us, and specifically down in southeast Iowa. And then as we head into Wednesday, skies clear for much of the state, and then another little wave of energy moves up from the south again, probably again only going to clip southeast Iowa, and then that moves out. Now, rainfall totals with this system are going to approach not too much in central Iowa and parts to the west. Ames, you can see only 0.05 of an inch, 0.08 of an inch in Des Moines, only isolated chances for more than that. The big story is going to be out in southeastern Iowa, 0.75 of an inch and above in Davenport, around 0.5 inch in Ottumwa. So areas of southeast Iowa and into Illinois are going to see the brunt of this rainfall. So as we head into tonight, we're going to cool down into the mid-40s across much of the state, hang on to maybe the 50s, upper 40s to the east, and then down into the mid-30s to the west as that boundary passes through and brings in that cooler, drier air. Tomorrow, still going to be pretty warm for this time of year. 54 in Des Moines, 49 in Mason City, 57 in Ottumwa. Our average high, at least here in Ames, is only about 40, so a bit mid-40s around Des Moines for usually this time of year, so it's still pretty warm. So tonight here in Ames, 42, isolated chance of a thunderstorm, and then mostly cloudy overnight. Those winds shifting around from the south to the west-northwest from 6 to 13 miles an hour. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 55. Chance of showers late tonight, mostly in southeast Iowa, so we probably won't have to worry too much about that. And then winds from the north, light from 6 to 8 miles an hour. Now, as we head into the rest of the week, there's that chance of rain for us on Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday, not too bad, in the mid-50s, which is pretty nice for this time of year. Another chance of rain comes on Saturday, so the weekend might be a little wet out there, and then our temperatures hang out in the upper 50s and 60s, and maybe even touch again on 70 into next week.
Alrighty, thank you, Zane. Let's take another look at tonight's trivia question. What is the temperature of the sun? Is it A, 6060 K, B, 5730 K, C, 5985 K, or D, does it vary? Well, Zane, the computer thought you knew by popping you up. What do you think it is?
You know what, Kyle? I'm going to guess I think it's over 6,000 Kelvin, but I can't remember for sure.
I just think it varies just because I
It's
want to
pretty
say
hot.
that.
Yeah, indeed. So, well, let's find out. Oh, it does vary. So.
Ooh, that's tricky.
But to be fair, you're probably technically right. It does get over 6,000 K.
It's pretty hot, so either way.
Fair enough. So.
Yeah, almost as hot as it was out there today. It was really warm
I
for this time of
know.
year.
Almost mid-70s, some parts of the state. That's pretty nice for, what is today, March 8th?
Yeah.
That's, pretty good.
That's grilling weather. I don't have a grill, but it's the weather that you would do it in.
And we haven't had to deal with all the rain that parts like California have been talking about.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
So it was just a good day to lay out on the lawn and enjoy a nice spring day. Which,
Definitely.
alrighty, well, that concludes our show for tonight. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. And you can find every show online at YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you this Thursday.